it in French or in English. But I thought that since what I want to explain, I think will be sort of well, okay, let me explain. I would like to cover what it took for me to buy the house that I bought, and like all the steps and stuff. So I figured that I could do that while I play this little cozy game, because money stresses me out. Okay, there are a few things that stress me out as much as money. I can't buy nothing from this store. Okay. If you don't know the game Cozy Grove, I'll do like a little recap. Basically, I'm a scout trying to help ghosts go on with their lives. Okay, yeah, since you're out there, we're missing things. T-Mug. Okay, so I'll try to find it. Yes, so I want to walk you through what it takes to buy a house post-pandemic. That's very important, right? So post-pandemic in the province of Quebec. So, I don't know about anything about buying a house pre-pandemic. I only know how to buy a house post-pandemic. I started looking at houses with my partner when we only had been dating for a while, like a short while, like maybe 5 months. But we knew that we weren't actually gonna move in together, like in a house that we bought for a while. And because I'm not like, I move fast in relationships, but I'm not about to entangle finances with a man I've known for 5 months. So with that in mind, we started looking at just prices, right? Just to see like how it works, what are the prices, and like, is it something that we could potentially afford? Okay, we are both 32 now. We were 30 at the time, or 29, 30 at the time. Oh, so I've now met Francesca Ducla right here. Who dares to disturb the forest? It's just me. Yeah, I'm here to clean up. Yeah, the trees talk to her. Yeah. Okay, I've watched all of this already, right? Okay. Perfect. So, back in those times when we were looking at houses, we figured that we could probably, ooh, that's nice. We could probably afford something along the lines of like $250,000. And at the time, I was living in Montreal, or around Montreal, I should say, rather. And we just found the T-Mug. And yeah, so that's where I lived. And I knew that out there was no way that I could afford a house where I was, because over there, even though it was off island of Montreal, townhouses, so like those are a bunch of houses that are like stuck together and that share one wall. These townhouses where I lived were about $450,000. for a house. I mean, sorry, we're not that rich. And I mean, some people do it, but I feel like these people have partners that maybe are more financially well off. I know that for myself, my partner does not make more than I make, so we make about the same. So it was crazy to me to realize that. Oh, there's so many things I can't do here because I don't have all the tools. Okay, here we go. It was crazy to me to realize that we couldn't actually not really kind of afford a house where we wanted to. But I did want to move in with him. So I decided that it could be profitable to move back to my university town. So I studied in Sherbrooke, which is about an hour and a half southeast of Montreal, very close to the border to the United States. So I had lived there already when I was in university, like I said, and I figured, I'm gonna move in with this man, and if I can tolerate him, then we can look at houses. And it turns out I was actually able to tolerate him, and therefore decided to buy a house with him. So when we started the process, well, first of all, for about a year and a half, we looked at houses, like just basically what was available to us, and we just looked on the realtor.ca, things like that, and we figured out what we wanted in a house. So my partner wanted a basement. I do not mind a basement. In my room was in the basement when I was a teenager. Love me some basement action, in the sense that it's cold and it is it's cold, and I like cold because I do not like warm weather, and that was fine with me. My partner really wanted a tub, like a bathtub, because for him it's what he likes, and I also love a bathtub, so that was fine with me. We weren't looking necessarily for a house that we could necessarily just move in and have nothing to do in, right? So we didn't mind doing some renovation, but then like the price had to kind of like match that, right? So obviously if we have some renovations to do, like I'm not gonna be buying $300,000 a house for just putting more money in the renovation. So we basically never looked we never looked at things that were above our price range. So we only looked at houses that we could afford, unless it was very like jokey, like I don't know if you understand what I mean, but like or like ridiculous houses that we could never afford, like $1 million house, things like that we looked at, but generally only looked at houses that we could afford. We did that So like, we knew that we were gonna need help because they have this website in Quebec called Proprio. So it's basically just homeowners selling their houses by themselves without necessarily using like a realtor. Sorry, I was looking for the English word. So that way they can save on the realtor fee because I don't know what the realtor fee is for like selling your house, but I know that my realtor from the sale of the house that we bought is gonna make 2% of that house. 2% of $250,000 is let me do some quick math because I'm not good. I actually don't know how much that amounts to. I think I counted, is it $5,000? I should not attempt to do math. Anyway, so just from the sale of her house, he makes money, right? And which is, he did all the work. I literally just signed electronic papers. That's all I had to do, really. So, very, very understandable that he would make this amount of money. Now, cool. I put a little light there. Did you see that? I sort of remember where I saw one. I was near a tree with a beehive. Okay. A tree with a beehive. Let's look for that. So, yeah, so, okay. So now we are at the point where we have found a realtor, and our realtor we picked based off of the suggestion of our friends who had bought houses from them, and they were very satisfied with their services, and they felt like those realtors were honest with them and did not try to take advantage of them, and therefore we like that about them. Oh, here they are. Oh no, my backpack is full. So we like that about them. I went with them, and we're very, very satisfied with our house, our services. But even before we went to the realtors, we actually got pre-approved by the important thing is that I got the spirit log. Even before exactly we were approved by our bank, which is like Caisse Populaire, so it's not really a bank. It's kind of like a co-op that it's a co-op basically that holds my money. It's very common in Quebec if you don't know. And so we actually, through our online bank services, we were able to get pre-approved at an interest rate, and we were able to keep that interest rate until September 14th, I believe. So that's how we went about it. So in June, we got pre-approved, and and then when we got pre-approved, that's when we retained the services of the realtors. Following that, the realtors, what they did is they created a profile for us in their, like, I guess, online database with our criteria. So the location that we wanted for our house, and no, but I want a freaking thing. I can't donate to the museum yet. So we actually we were told that it was best to keep our search criteria somewhat vague so that we could get as many houses as possible. So we were pre-authorized for $270,000 to buy a house. So any house that was basically 250 and under, we were able to look at. Yes, now you're gonna open the museum. Yes. Yes. Okay. Exactly. This is what I want. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Jesus. Okay. So one thing about this game, and I don't know if I said it in the previous video, but when you select things, it is very easy to deselect by mistake. It is the number one frustration I have with this freaking game. So I have to be very careful. I'm almost done collecting everything in my other game. So for now, I'm just recollecting everything to show you. I'm now realizing this can be a hard video to follow, but if anything goes according to plan, you will be asleep very soon. And if you're just watching this video to hear me ramble, well, isn't that your lucky day? Because that's all I do. But you can imagine how difficult it is to follow, like, let's say, a class I teach because of my raging ADHD that went undiagnosed for so long. Yep, I'm gonna collect all these patches. Here we go. My hope is that I have enough money to buy my tools I need, and I think I do. Okay. So we got the realtor, we were approved, and any house went on into, like, our profile thingy. At first, we had, I think before we bought, at most, the quantity of houses that we had was 12. Honestly, not many houses. However, most of these houses, I don't know why I said however, because that's not the right word, but most of the houses I had already seen in my previous searches by myself with my partner. Okay, here we go. And so one of the houses was decently priced. However, it was filled with carpet. And you know, if you've seen any of my shows, my YouTube shows, that I have cats that do not get along well at all. And I have an old senior cat that started their life being and pooping on carpets. So what that means is that knew that it was basically not great, and that wasn't a great plan. When I looked, okay, so then whenever there was a house that interested us, I'm gonna buy this for sure. And then can I buy this? No, I can't buy anything else, I don't think. Okay, so whenever there was a house that we liked, we were able to ask our realtor to get what, I don't know if I'm correct about the English term, but in French we call that, it's like the vendor's declaration. So basically it's a sheet on which the seller of the house has recorded all potential problems that there could be with this house. So like, let's say in I don't know, 2014 there was a flood. Well, they have to declare that, right? And then what they did to fix it, so like, let's say there's a giant flood and then they had to redo the whole drains in the basement. Well, this is going to be in the vendor's declaration. So when we looked at some of the vendor's declarations, we realized that houses in our price range were unfortunately not going to come with a low renovation cost, right? Because decent finished houses were $350 upwards. I'm gonna say the words. Hold on, I have words coming. I believe that pre-pandemic, the prices were not like that, but oh, that was way off. What a throw. That's probably better. Okay. So, in comparison, my father sold his house, I want to say, kind of like at the beginning of the pandemic when not a lot of people were selling houses yet. So he, for a house that he bought in 1990, he bought this house for $59,000, which is the amount of money I made this year, okay? And he bought a house for that price. 1 year's salary. And in 1990, yes. And he moved in with my mom, that we live our whole life there. They divorced, he renovated the whole thing, A to Z at the beginning of the pandemic, and then sold it for $260,000. So he made a $200,000 profit off of that house, and that's what he sold that one for in Drummondville. So like, it's not the same market, right? But for the Drummondville market, it's a good price, you know. It's a expensive price, kind of. And in comparison, also, a townhouse that is new in Sherbrooke in 2022 will cost you $400,000 without a finished basement, without adding anything extravagant or even just custom to the prefab houses prices. So that's a pretty penny. Like, I can't build myself a house. Like, I guess I could, because like when you buy a house, okay, they even this clicking is making me not. I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay, I'm gonna concentrate. Oh Lord. Donate all. Yes, I got it. So when they look, before they lend you money, they have to look if you can pay it back. So you have to basically like send all your information, and they're gonna make sure that first of all you have money. Second of all, they're gonna make sure that if ever, they're gonna do kind of like a stress test, okay? Because when I talk to you about interest rates, right? The interest rates, that's difficult to say, that we got pre-approved at, or like 3% or something like that. And if you've been following the economy, I guess, you know that interest rates have been going the F up, okay? Trying to slow down inflation. And like, I don't necessarily know how money works, but I do know that they do a stress test. So they calculated it for like, let's pretend interest rates could go up to 5%. Would you still be able to buy a house? And what they do is they put that in ratios. So above, so they calculate your ratio kind of like with all of your debts and all of your like things that you have. Can you afford to pay this house? So I think that, and that's like the percentage that you should be able to spend on your house is like 33 or 36% of your salary, and we were at 20%. So of course we could have gone for a more expensive house, I believe. However, that's not what they authorized for a loan for us. So I think that, could we technically afford a more expensive house? Yes. However, do I want most of my money to go to rent? Do I want to not be able to do anything else other than paying for a house? Not necessarily, right? So it's kind of like a balance act of everything, and I would rather spend money because I know, okay, yeah, I understand that these are all here. Okay, I'm not gonna go and click on everything. Okay. Okay, we need, yeah, because yeah. Okay, so now she's giving me a lamp, so I'll be able to do it, and I won't even have to craft anything. Great. Here we go. Boom. And so I don't want all my money to go towards the house, because I know that even if I were to purchase a house that was 100% like good and just like you can move in right away, well, of course there would be things that I would need and I would want to change, and I wouldn't need to change them, but I would want to, because I've been looking forward to having a house and being able to renovate it for a long freaking while, okay? Like I've been watching home renovation shows since Home Makeover Extreme Edition when I was 8. Okay, so like I love renovating. I've seen my mother renovate the house many a times, and I just know that I could do a great home renovation with great fun. I forgot where I was. So yeah, and we were at 20% as far as to like paying the house and stuff. So our rent is gonna cost us about 20% of what we make, and that's a great spot to be in, I think, for us. So we looked at the online profile, and then we also asked for the vendor's declaration for things that we when we were interested in a house. And we did not visit it just went over. Did you see that? We didn't actually visit a lot of houses. Yeah, no, that failed miserably. We actually didn't visit a lot of houses before finding ours. We first went to visit a house that was I'm forgetting the word. I only have the French word. It was basically announced for $249, but it was a house like we wanted, kind of like in the middle of nowhere, in the sense that it was on a 2-acre lot, and most of this lot was wood, and it was just like it wasn't like 2 acres of grass. Like, it was really in the middle of the woods. So we went and we looked at it. Okay. Oh, there are presents here. Get present. Cool. I'm gonna feed my bird. So we get there, and it's like freaking heavenly. Okay, this house is like, he's telling us about the imps, but we've already fed one. Yeah, I know how, because I've played this game before. Sorry. Okay. But, yeah. So we get there, it's heavenly. It's like trees everywhere, and it's like a wooden house painted, and like, I'm in love already, which is not good, because most of the time I love things, and then at first I love them, and then I realize, oh dang, this is actually not a great it's not a great thing to love, because it's pretty messed up. And that's what happened with this house. Because what was very cool about having a realtor, and which is why I think that I would recommend getting a realtor if you want to buy a house, especially in this market, is that when we first went and we toured like the outside of the house, right away he told us, listen, these trees are trees are too close to the house. The outside of the house is wooden, which means that the trees that you see there are basically keeping the humidity close to your house, and it's making the outside rot. And then he says that like so basically right away we know that we're gonna have to spend maybe 15 grand redoing the outdoors. yes, it's rotten. And then he was like, it's like you have to do that yesterday, like it's due. And then we look and we see that also the roof is not up to code, in the sense that there are, no, I don't have enough money. Okay, there are irregularities and things that are not congruent with the price of not the price, but the year that the house was supposedly built in. So I'm gonna fish, I think. I'll show you the fishing, and maybe I showed it last time. And we looked also like, okay, well, my brother-in-law works in like finishing outdoors of houses, so like maybe we can get it cheaper, which is what we thought at first. Then we go inside, and we basically, there was no basement in that house, so it's still in our profile thingy. Despite not having a basement, we still decided to go look at it because of the 2 acre of land. Like, let's not fool ourselves, like that's a lot of land. So like, worst comes to worst, and build like another building or something, that's what we thought. But then we get there, and right next to the house is the septic, like sewage system, basically. And right next to that is a pond, and the pond is very stagnant water. I think that just by being outside, like 4 or 5 minutes, I was filled with mosquito bites, of course, as stagnant water does, will attract mosquitoes and stuff. So the realtor tells us that he believes that the house was built earlier, and then was moved to the location that it is now, put on a concrete slab, and like fixed so that it would be a 4-season house. Of course, in Canada we have winter, and therefore it's very cold most of the time. So just having like I'm gonna say it. Just having like kind of like a cottage thing is not like gonna cut it, right? So that's what our realtor says. He says he believes that it was moved, which is fine, but basically for us, we figured, I'm not sure that's exactly what we want. I'm not sure we want to spend that much money. And then we went inside, and it was basically the size of a 4.5 apartment. It was all kind of like an open concept of like, yeah, it was kind of like an open concept. So the bedroom was basically linked. It's hard to explain. It was basically, there was like on one of the sides, there was a big window that was like a 2-story window, and I love it, beautiful. However, that window was also connecting the bedroom and the living room, which like the realtor pointed out, like, let's say I'm watching a movie and like my partner's trying to sleep, like how is that gonna work? Because it's all the same room basically. There's no noise reduction or nothing. So basically we decided like it's not a house for us. Like it's more, I feel like if I was buying alone, it would be a better house for me alone, because then I'm just alone there, right? So it doesn't matter if those two rooms are connected. I live alone, right? So we move on. We had asked to do a second visit to a second house on that day, but it was actually never confirmed if we were going to be able to visit that house or not. So we didn't think that we were actually going to get to go see this new house, but we actually went, and it ended up being the house that we actually bought. So the realtor's like, let's go to this second house. So we go to the second house, and we arrive there, and it's a house that I had seen in my, but I want to see if I can make like a little chest to put my things in there. No, I don't know the recipe yet. That's a bummer. Okay, where was I in all of my glorious instruction? I'll put this here. What is this? A golden egg. I don't know what to do with that. Put it next to my fire. Oh, but I can upgrade my tent though, because I have more than $5,000. Yes, upgrade it, baby. We get to the second house, and it was a house that I had seen before. The same way that we were able to, we toured the outdoors first, okay, and we went on the outdoor, and it was fine, and okay. Oh, I can decorate even small houses now. That's hella cool. Even the small tent I can do. Nice. I'm gonna pet it so that I can give it a name. Okay. Oh yeah, babe. Yes, be called babe. Yes. Love, 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 love. What do I have in terms of the, I'll put right here. I don't know what the cat wants. These are not where it goes. Likes cozy decor. Okay, I'll pick it up. We tore outside, and already the realtor compares it to the one we had just seen, and he tells me this is a lot better than the other one. Like, the outside seems sound, however the roof will be to redo in a couple years, but other than that it looks good on the outside. So I'm like, yay, love it. And then I see and then we go inside, and it's like, oh my god, I had never seen I have seen some bad houses in my online search, but then this was very 1992 vibes. We're talking wallpaper, we're talking, and even some of the places more like the house was built in 77, and I think that some of the places like was not updated at all in all of those years. So I mean, there are mirror walls, immense mirror walls. Oh, what a house. And so when we visited, this one was actually, it was announced for $229, so already it was less expensive than the previous one, and it looked more structurally sound, so we were very happy about that. or were not going to be too expensive to fix. And the whole time I had this feeling of like, this is going to be my house. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know what exactly about the house made me feel this way, but I really, really, really had a strong feeling that this was going to be my house. So I don't really think anything of it. It's a Friday when we visit the house. So the realtor says, like, you have time to think about it because these people are only going to look at the offers next Wednesday. So that's one thing that's like strange about the pandemic now, and what it's done to the housing market is that a lot of the people that sell houses, what they do is they will then say like, we're not looking at offers before this date, or we're only gonna look at offers like if, or sometime there was another house that we visited where it was like, when an offer is made, it opens like, I think I'll just sell all that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Yeah, sell that too. Yeah. Yeah, sell all that. Great. Yeah. So that other house that we visited, we got there, and this one was kind of like a more 1950s vibe. It had the same sort of renovations to be done than the other house that we ended up buying. Okay, so I got those two things, and then those were all things that I bought, or I sold rather. Okay. So it had the same kind of like amount of renovations. However, it was the driveway was actually linked to the neighbor's driveway. And when we went to the backyard, we noticed that there was actually no door to leave the house and go straight in the backyard. We had to use the side door, and in the backyard per se, there were like trees or hedges, I can't remember, where they were like maybe a foot on the I'm looking for the word. There was like maybe a foot in from the side of the property line. There were trees, like just random trees put there, and then right in the middle of the backyard was a giant maple tree that covered the entire background with shade. And if you know anything about me, I want a garden and I want a pool, and it was just unfeasible. And there was like a sort of like, I don't know, like a heaviness, I guess, to like the whole house. And I didn't like that. It was like I felt unwelcomed is how I felt. And yeah, that was not good. Not good. I didn't like it. So so they told us, and we visited that one maybe like the next Monday after. So there were still 2 days left open for the house on the one that we bought. I'll call it other world because I have nothing more left to do here, and this is taking a lot. My goodness, I've been speaking for 53 minutes. Okay, I'll just go to my other one. And I didn't like the other house, basically. And on the Tuesday, our realtor informed us that somebody had made an offer on that one that I didn't like, with the vibe and the big maple tree. And my partner and I had this already decided that we were not going to offer anything for that house because we didn't like it. But on the Tuesday, we then did the first offer on the Rojo house, the one we have. And we first offered because, like, here's the main part of buying a house. Okay, so like we made an offer, but because the market is what it is, we know that there's going to be like maybe 5-6 offers on each house that we look at. So the way it works is you can make an offer, but then after other offers come in, you have a certain amount of hours to bonify that house. So you have like, so we prepared, of course, we prepared, okay, we prepared a bonification offer, basically. So like, they asked for, they were asking for 229. So at first we offered asking price, even though we knew we were gonna have to bonify it, right? So we offered asking price, and our realtor had told us that when we were gonna do that, it was gonna trigger everybody else that had visited the house, right, that wanted to buy it, was gonna now basically was gonna now make their offers, right? So after maybe 6 hours, we're told there are more offers. We're now at 3 buyers for this house. The whole time we have no idea the amount of money that anybody else offered. Okay, we only know what we bid. So that's kind of frustrating because, like, that's why we only offered the asking price at the beginning, because we were thinking, like, let's say we offer 250 right away and nobody else has offered anything, like, we're just gonna end up paying so much more for the house than we could have. So that was kind of like our train of thought on that. And I mean, the realtor kind of laughed at me a little bit because he was like, if you're alone trying to buy this house, buy yourself a lottery ticket, because that it would be unheard of in this house buying climate. So we did not end up getting it for the price that they asked. So right away we had to bonify our offer, right? Where's the amphitheater? Right here. Okay. Do I have a camera? Yes. Okay. Here we go. Ba-ba-da-da. So after 3 buyers, we bonified our offer by 20,500 more than what was asked. So ultimately, we offered 250,500. When the house. Somehow I wasn't worried. Like, to me, this was my house. It is strange, but I truly felt like this was my house. And where is this? Damn. Oh, I'm getting close. I was close. There we go. So I had to actually leave for the United States after that whole debacle of being second. So when your offer is accepted on a house, you basically have 14 days to evaluate it and then decide if you're gonna buy it in the end, if it's something that you like. So we obviously our offer wasn't accepted because we were second, but we filled in a paper that said that, like, let's say something goes wrong in those 14 days and then the people who wanted to buy it couldn't. Well, before it went back to the market, it was gonna be ours. So I figured, and this was not making us legally having to restrain ourselves from looking at other houses, making other offers on houses. Like, it was really, really just maybe we have a look before you try to sell it to somebody else, And if we hadn't found anything in the meantime, well, it could be ours. So I go to the United States, and on the morning I'm set to come back, I get a text message from my partner saying, like, there's news about the house. I knew something was wrong because it didn't say it was sold on the website. So I figured something was wrong with the house. That's what he tells me. Not with the house, but with the buyers. And as soon as I get over the borderline, because I didn't have a data, like, nobody calls me in life. I'm not gonna get a plan to get phone calls in the States when, like, if it's for the house, they can reach my partner, no problem. And basically I called the realtor back, and he's like, the people were supposed to get a donation for their down payment, and the person decided not to give the donation any longer, and therefore the house is yours. First of all, if the person that decided to retract this money donation is listening to this video by some pure chance, that is a shit move. I'm not gonna lie, it's a shit move. However, thank you. I feel very conflicted because I would feel mortified if anybody had told me, oh yeah, I'll give you money for your house down payment, and then decided to retract at the last minute. I'll be mortified. That person is not a great person. I don't know what happened in their lives. Like, I wish I knew, because I could tell you all about it. However, I do not know what happened, and if there's a falling out, if these people were not good people, I mean, karma. But if it's just because you decided not to give it anymore, that's a shit move. I'm not gonna lie. But thank you, because I got the house. Yeah. So then we went to the bank, and we actually had to have an official approbation of, like, it's not an English word, but we had to have another evaluation by the bank, even though we had already done one. But we had to have another one, and then the third one, like 3 3 times they looked at the documents just to make sure that we were able to pay this back. And I mean, it's a lot of money to just throw at people, right? So yeah, they're making sure we can pay it back, no problem. Also, my down payment also comes from donations. But you know, that's what it is. And yeah, basically, out. After the third bank evaluation, then our papers got sent to the notary. And at the beginning of this whole ordeal, we basically said that we were gonna take possession of the house on August 26th. However, this is not, you're not even eating the right thing. Okay. Yeah, good. It turns out that notaries are very busy people, and it's not going to be able to be on the 26th, but we are taking possession of the house on the 6th of September, and that leaves us then, we're going to move into the house on the 17th. So that leaves us, first of all, a good 10 days to clean, paint, remove the carpet, cover the walls that are made of mirrors. You heard me correctly. In this house, there are 2 full mirror walls. Okay, these 2 walls are covered in mirrors. Did I get them off? Yes. So I cannot wait to tour this house with you. I will film, and this is not the creature I was meant to go see. Okay. I know that I will film a video in which I show you the whole house, from top to bottom, A to Z, whatever you want to call it, and I'll do like kind of like a voice over explaining. Oh Jesus, I keep messing up. I'm trying to talk and end this video and play Cozy Grove. Where is the one that wants the moth? Who is he? A Beatrice. So yeah, I'll show you like a whole video. I'll do a voiceover. That's the mouse, that's not her. Where are you, Beatrice? And I do a whole voiceover of like, what is the house? What are my plans for renovating? I'll show you some sketches. Beatrice is nowhere to be found. Where is she? Is it her? Yes. No, it was not her. Beatrice, there we go. And I'll explain to you all the renovations that I want to do, and I think I will do then another video after when it's all done. And by all done, I mean ready for us to move in, because like, of course, I want to redo the kitchen and I want to redo the floors and things like that, but realistically, I'm not gonna be able to do all that before we move in. So true crime slash horror story, murder mystery type situation. Not murder mystery, but like true crime stuff. So I think that's gonna be something. I'm gonna try to prepare something for the next video for that. And